Welcome back to the Generation Y. You're with me, Scott Sunjata Keita. We're talking about the film industry, and I'm joined by Tosh Gitonga, the director of Nairobi Half-Life, among many other awesome productions. Tosh, before we went on break, you had just told us about some of the things that you're working on, a new series called The Nairobians. But just to come back to how you work on every kind of script, do you always have to get yourself into a different kind of mode when you're going into each script, or it's just a constant? How is the energy when you go to each and every script?
Definitely. I mean, you see, what you're doing is you're bringing something to life.
Mm-hmm.
So my procedure or my method is I usually just first take it in, and once it's in my head, I can't get it out.
Yeah.
So whether I'm driving in traffic or sleeping or eating, or having a conversation with someone, it's lingering there, you know. and I see situations in life that connect to whatever my script is, you know, and that helps me into formulating what I want to film. I don't know why that happens, but
you have a method to your madness.
Yeah, I guess it's it's my method to my madness. But
and especially, like, how was the feeling when you first read the script to the Nairobi Half-Life?
Wow, I read 10 minutes of it, 10 pages of it, and I was like, I dropped it, and I got and I left. And I went and stood outside. I remember, I'll never forget that day. And I was thinking, whoa, for my first film, this is exactly...
Oh, it was your first film?
Yes, this is exactly what I want to do, you know? I couldn't believe my luck, you know? Like, you know, Nairobi Half-Life came through a workshop. So it was not, it was through a workshop that they would finally choose who was going to direct, so that was tough. And then
so it was competitive, of course.
Yeah, and then you didn't know what script was, you know? You're given a chance to read the script. And if you are allowed to say no if you can't connect with it. And 10 pages in, I was just, yes. After I finished the script, I just found myself, I took myself down to Gaza, you know, Kirinyaga Road. I was walking there and just, you know, taking it in.
Yeah. Looking at how the scenes would play out.
Yeah. I drove to Kiambu, Shags, you know, just to, you know, take in, so that I can start my process of thinking of the approach.
Is it really intense? Is it extremely intense to direct a movie?
Very, very intense, because you're the head. It's like, think about being a pilot, or you know, being what do they call in English, the captain of a ship. You're everything.
Everyone comes to ask you the questions.
Yeah, everything is under you. You know, you're the one directing where everyone is going. And all questions are directed towards you. So if you don't know what you're doing, then everybody doesn't know what they're doing. If you're fast, you're fast. If everyone is fast. If you're slow, so it's a domino effect. So I felt like I was lifted from the moment we started pre-production. I was lifted, like, you know, I was just hovering in the air until we finished the project. That's when I was let go.
It was a turbulent.
It was intense, yes.
Wow, amazing. So, like, how are the challenges? What kind of challenges did you face, especially the cast? Because the cast was amazing, especially the lead actor. How did you get to cast that?
I work with an actor called Kamau, Kamau Andungu. He's also a casting director. And we only had 3 weeks of pre-production. And I remember pushing back to my producers and saying, you can't be serious. I just got this script. We have to cast, we have to find locations, you know. There's so much to do. How am I going to do it in 3 weeks?
Then again, you didn't have any experience in
that. So I was kind of panicking. And I remember Kamau coming to me and telling me, you know, I have your main actor. Do not worry.
Relax.
I have your main actor. I know who he is. I've read the script before you. I'll bring him to you. And I was like, nah. You know, now when you have this responsibility, you want to be sure that you've gotten there.
Everything is right.
So he brought Moas to me, Babu.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw him, I was like, I like the look. He looks very innocent. It's a good contrast to what he becomes.
What he becomes later
in the
in the
movie.
movie. Yeah.
Now, can he act?
That was the challenge.
So we tested him, and I was like, okay, there's something there. But he was, again, experience of theater, he was over the top. So I was like, okay, I explained to him, drop it, this is, if I want to see, I will come close to the camera. So I explained to him what, all the camera positions. You don't have to be like in the theater that the last person has to
very
see.
loud, yeah.
He followed my direction very well, and instantly he was, getting into it. And I was impressed. He could take direction, he had the look, and he had the determination. But then I was like, no, it can't be this easy to find your first actor. So I'm not going to say yes right away.
Yeah.
So I took him out through vigorous casting callbacks, bringing people.
Trying to find an alternative.
But deep down, I knew I had him. But, it's just that it's your first time also, you're not so sure. But then time was not on our side. I remember Tom telling me, you have to decide. You have to decide. Finally, on a Friday, I said, bring him back. So I went through again with him. That time we had cast Mose, the short, feisty one. That one was direct.
Yeah.
There was no... we didn't have OT, which is very important for me. Or WAF. OT, the character who played OT, brought WAF to try for OT.
He brought the WAF to try for a character that he got eventually.
So he was not coming for the auditions. He's just,
like, hey, you try it.
So I saw him and I said, no, you try. Since you're here, why not?
Why not?
In fact, all of you. So I put all of them on a bench. There was a scene, I don't know if you remember, where they all meet. And OT is with Moss having lunch. And they all come in. We played that scene. And I said, just carry. I'm not going to give you the script. I just explained to them, this is your leader. You're a small gang. He's brought a new member that you don't know. Just carry on. Man, they pulled it off. Everyone standing there was just like looking at each other like, what? And that's how we made our... And this was on a Thursday, just before we started shooting on next week on Monday. So it was kind of crazy.
How long did it take for the whole film to be ready? The shooting, the production?
We shot for 4 weeks, we prepped for 3 weeks, 7 weeks.
7 weeks?
Yeah, us 1.5, 2 months.
And the time before it came out eventually?
Oh, it was over a year. We edited for 6 months plus.
Wow, it takes that long?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, amazing stuff.
I mean, since we were on a training mission, so there were steps to follow. But a film, we're talking about a film a year. From start to finish. So you can stagger between you can do 2 films.
And most Kenyan productions are usually so quick to produce a film. Leo na shoot, tomorrow you already have the complete version of the movie. Is that commended? No.
And I'm always against that all the time. The biggest excuse I find is that, we don't have the budget, But at the end of the day, I say, you can dedicate your time, you can dedicate your time. Shooting tomorrow and shooting in 2 weeks, there's no difference. You're only going to, your budget is going to be the same. At least shoot. If you're going to shoot tomorrow, whatever you're going to use tomorrow to shoot, it's going to be the same you're going to use in 2 weeks when you've sat down and really
planned everything out.
And also, broadened your plot. That's the biggest weakness we have here in Kenya.
Amazing.
The script development. that is the biggest problem. People don't understand it, don't put time into it, and they have an idea, and they put it down, and let's shoot. You're never gonna get a good film without a good script. That's a fact. You can take it to the bank. You need to develop a script, and it's painful.
It's a painful process.
Yeah, because you poke holes into it, you sit, you brainstorm. It's a process that I don't like, but it's a must. You have to go through it, because you sit, you go through the story over and over, and you find the holes, and you have to fill those holes. When you fill those holes, other holes appear. So you have to plot it out and see that it's making sense before you even go shooting. It doesn't matter if you're going to shoot with a small camera and a small light. At the end of the day, if the script is good, it will make sense, and you can be forgiven,
for the loopholes in the production,
for the budget issues. But someone can then see, okay, there's a story here,
there's a content here. Amazing stuff. We're talking about the film industry in Kenya. Of course, you're watching the Generation Y with me, Scott Sunjata Keita. We'll be right back.